Hello, and thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show. Could Paris become Europe's new street art capital? We take you to a new hangout for taggers of all ages. A taste of Japan in Paris through film, dance, and a new art space. And roll up, Paris goes circus crazy over the festive period. We'll show you some of the best. Starting with Saudi Arabia, though, who's lifting its ban on cinemas after 35 years. It's part of a broad modernisation drive led by the conservative kingdom's reform-minded Crown Prince. The government said it would begin licensing cinemas immediately. The first movie theatres are expected to be open next March.
A corruption of morals. This is how Saudi Arabia's highest-ranking cleric warned of the depravity of cinemas in January this year. But authorities appear to have shrugged off that threat. As it was announced, the kingdom will begin licensing cinemas for the first time in more than 35 years. The move is part of sweeping reforms in the ultra-conservative kingdom, being brought in by 32-year-old Deputy Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He was also behind the decision to lift the ban on women drivers, which is due to be implemented next year. In October, it was also announced that women will be permitted into sports stadiums. It's hoped that the introduction of an entertainment industry will provide a much-needed boost to the Saudi economy, which has suffered following a drop in oil prices. In the 1980s, Orthodox Islamists were instrumental in shutting down movie theatres, which were viewed as a threat to cultural and religious identity. Despite opposition from hardline conservatives, the government says it will begin licensing cinemas immediately. The kingdom is expected to open over 300 movie theatres with more than 2,000 screens by 2030. It's hoped the cinema industry will contribute an estimated 20 billion euros to the economy and create 30,000 permanent jobs.
Next, if you're asked to name Europe's street art capital, you might lean towards Berlin or even London. But could it be Paris's turn to wear the urban culture crown? The Aerosol is the city's new hangout that's entirely devoted to the art of the spray can. Renaud Lefort and Jessica Sestili went along to check it out.
You might think we're in a train depot, and you'd be completely right in thinking so. But as strange as it seems, this is actually the ideal location for urban artists to show off their talent and for us to come and marvel at it.
With its graffitied walls, food trucks and escape park too, L'Aerosol has become Paris's new epicenter of urban culture. The space, measuring a whopping 7,000 square meters, is tucked away in the capital's northern tip, an area that's synonymous with French hip-hop.
We're
just a few steps from Paris's Porte de la Chapelle, where France's hip-hop culture was born during the mid-80s. Dynasty organized the first street parties some 600 meters away, and Supreme NTM also got started here.
It's for everyone.
It's important that we have places where we can express ourselves.
We have great fun painting with spray cans.
The site's also home to a museum with over 300 pieces from some of the world's most iconic street artists, such as Shepard Fairey, the designer behind Barack Obama's Hope campaign posters. And the founders also hope to inspire some more creativity here. MATHIEU DAGORN is one of 20 artists who they've invited to make an on-site masterpiece. And he's been working on it for almost 5 hours, painting the wall with strips of paper to form a huge abstract mural, through which he can share some deeper thoughts on society.
Everything has a soul. You have a soul, everybody does. I don't want to get all cuckoo about it. It's just a way of thinking about things that are hard to grasp, that are hard to get when we're living in such an uptight society.
And if all the art gets a bit much, then visitors can also pop some skates on and let loose on the dance floor, whether they're full-flung rock and rollers or still in training to be so.
We hear a lot about Paris's Louvre and the Eiffel Tower, so how about something a bit different in the French capital? In our next report, we're taking you on a Japanese culture journey through a film, a dance show and a new art gallery. Renaud Lefort and Erin Oguke report.
It may be unexpected, but throughout the different neighborhoods of Paris, Japanese culture flourishes. Tucked away in Paris's 3rd district on Rue Notre-Dame de Nazareth, a surprising find, a new Japanese contemporary art gallery. The latest exhibition is dedicated to the work of Chisato Tanaka, a unique and intimate look at childhood, where vibrant colors are juxtaposed with black canvases.
These children, teenagers, these mysterious women looking at us. You can't help but wonder if they're asking us for help, or if they're protecting us, or if they're trying to help us. Her work is filled with ambiguous figures.
Japanese film has now made its way to the independent cinemas of Saint-Germain-des-Prés. This month, it was The Long Excuse, directed by Miwa Nishikawa. Sashio, a famous and narcissistic novelist, did not cry when his wife passed away. He takes the viewer along for his journey discovering grief and remorse. At the Japanese Cultural Center near the Eiffel Tower, scenes of Buto, a surrealist form of Japanese dance. Akajimaro is a living legend of this avant-garde art form. He supervised the work of Naomi Muko, choreographer and former student, and also the lead dancer in this performance. Inspired by Asura, divine creatures in Buddhist mythology, it is an ode to religious coexistence.
I did get the philosophical message of the performance. Some parts almost brought tears to my eyes. Even though I'm not happy with all of it, I think there is a message of peace in it.
It's unlike anything we're used to in the West. It's extraordinary.
I felt a real sense of eternity when I saw this performance.
The goddess-like figure that comes out of these earthly struggles, it's wonderful.
Japanese music, exhibitions, and films, as Japan and France are set to commemorate 160 years of diplomatic relations.
Every Christmas, Paris goes crazy for the circus, with dozens of different shows to choose from. We're going to start by showing you a performance by the Canadian circus troupe Seven Fingers. They've done performances for Olympic ceremonies and Broadway, serving up breathtaking acrobatic feasts. Now they're putting on a tribute to the Dutch painter Hieronymus Bosch in Paris. Lauren Berstechter reports.
Hieronymus Bosch, like you've never seen him before. For this Canadian circus company, the Dutch painter's fantastic universe was tailor-made for the stage.
His world is quite surreal. There are all sorts of flying creatures and grotesque characters contorting their bodies. There are even circus objects and accessories that appear in this work. I don't know where he got it from, but these are all elements you can find in the show.
Hieronymus Bosch was known for his eerie imagery, strange creatures, and fascination with religious concepts, such as heaven and hell. His work had a profound influence on Salvador Dali and the Surrealist movement. A cross between performance art and video projections, Bosch Dreams is an homage to the Dutch master and a rare window into his bizarre and enchanting universe.
I've been in the circus for 17 years, and to perform in this environment with these projections, it's really beautiful. It adds a magical dimension.
We're really here to supplement a concept. We're not the concept itself. So we need to set our egos aside and simply serve the art.
But don't be fooled. Bosch Dreams is first and foremost a circus performance full of brilliance and technical mastery.
And Bosch Dreams is playing at La Villette in Paris until the 17th of December. And we're going to leave you with another type of circus in Paris. This one is called Cirque Africa, showcasing the talents of artists from across Africa. Remember our website. We're also on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.